So just getting comfortable wherever you are, again, on your mat. Maybe you're at home today. Feeling free to find a blanket or pillow or something to use as a block to help you out through our practice today. That feels good. Maybe closing your eyes as we begin our practice today, shifting our focus inward if that feels good for you. Starting to bring your attention and awareness to your breath, just simply noticing the breath today. If you're feeling any sort of sinus things today, I know it's that time of year, you're welcome to find an open mouth breath. Maybe starting with a full body scan. Thinking about your breath. And as you start to think about your breath, maybe thinking about that 3-part diaphragmatic breath. So inhaling deep from the belly up into the chest and exhaling from the chest back down to the belly. As we start to find this deep diaphragmatic breath, we start to bring that natural sense of calm and relaxation into our bodies and into our minds. Thinking about slowing down for these next 45 minutes today, and maybe setting our intention for our practice, whatever that might be. Maybe it's simply to move our bodies, relieve stress, find a good stretch. Letting go of any expectations, letting go of any competition, and suspending all judgment of ourselves and others for these next few minutes of our practice. Simply focusing on this present moment, always bringing ourselves back to our breath and our contact points on our mat. When you're ready, taking your hands down by your sides, coming onto our backs as we start to find our breath, adding in a little movement. As we inhale, we'll reach our arms up and overhead. And then as we exhale, we'll bring the hands back down by the sides. Taking 3 more rounds of this movement here. Maybe the arms come out to the sides. Maybe they reach straight overhead. As you inhale, think about lengthening the spine. And as you exhale, think about pressing it back down to the mat. Let's take 1 more of these together. But as we exhale, grabbing onto our knees and pulling them into the chest, grabbing under our knees. So on the hamstring part of our thigh, maybe rocking side to side, massaging our low back, if that feels good. Maybe drawing circles on the ceiling with our knees. And then whenever we're ready, we can drop our knees to the side or slowly roll ourselves up, coming to a seated position on our mat. So you have a lot of options in seated. You're welcome to sit in Sukhasana or crisscross, right? Or you can extend your legs out straight, bent, whatever feels good for you. As we inhale, let's lift our arms up to the sky. And as we exhale, right hand reaches down, left arm up and over, feeling that side body stretch. Inhaling, coming back to center, and exhaling, left hand down. Thinking about pressing our sit bones into the mat as we move side to side here with our own breath. Feeling free to sink into this as much as you'd like. Getting nice lateral flexion in our spine. We don't focus on our side bodies maybe as much as the front of our bodies. So this is really great way to warm up your spine. We'll take one more round on each side. As we inhale, let's lift and lengthen. And then as we exhale, bringing our hands to heart center, that Anjali Mudra position, maybe taking our eye gaze down to the ground or our mat. And remembering that intention, remembering to, if anything, honor and revere our bodies today. From here, slowly, as we exhale, taking a little rotation over the right shoulder, finding a twist, option to release the hands down by the sides, maybe sinking a little deeper into it. As we inhale, hands come back to heart center. And as we exhale, we twist to the left, either staying here or dropping one hand to the thigh, one hand to the back. Inhaling, coming back to center, hands come into our heart center. And exhaling from here, chin to chest. As we inhale, we'll pull the shoulder blades up to the sky, maybe lifting our gaze. As we exhale, taking the shoulders back, maybe eye gaze lift. This time we can release our hands by our sides. As we exhale, slowly dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. Inhaling, chin to chest, left ear to left shoulder. Taking a few shoulder rolls here, neck rolls, neck release. Maybe starting to make a bigger circle around, being mindful of how far we drop our head back. And then when we're ready, coming back to center. As we inhale, pulling our shoulder blades up to our ears. And as we exhale, pulling them down and back. One more time, big inhale, lifting the shoulders. Exhaling, rounding down. From here, we're taking our hands to the front of our mat. Coming into all fours, hands and knees, or quadruped pose. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. As we inhale, belly to the mat, hips to the sky, we lift our head and heart for our cow. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding into our cat. And just moving at our own pace here in our cat and our cow. Feeling free to add on anything else that might feel good in this pose. Maybe that's some side to side movement with the hips, wagging our tails, releasing our wrists, our shoulders. Maybe pressing back to feel a nice stretch in our feet in our cat pose. Making our way back to center when we're ready. Left hand presses into the mat, inhaling our right arm center, lengthening. Eye gaze to the floor, nice long neutral spine. As we exhale, hand comes back to the mat. Inhaling, left arm reaches out, thumb to the sky. And exhale, release, starting to fire up our core. This time as we inhale, right arm reaches out, left leg extends. And as we exhale, we come back to center, alternating our sides. So inhaling, left arm, right leg this time, hip and shoulder height. And exhale, release. Alternating our sides and feeling free to add on maybe a little lateral movement, arm and leg to the side. Remembering that we want this to feel good. So take whatever options feel best for your body, remembering that you are in control of your practice. We'll take one more round of our spinal balance on each side. Maybe starting to feel the back body firing up. And coming back to your all fours when you're ready. Pressing into your left hand, you have the option here to find the block underneath your left hand, if you'd like. That gives you a little bit of elevation, so bringing the ground up to meet you. Right fingertips come to the right temple. We're moving into that thread the needle. As we inhale, we open through our thoracic spine to the right. Exhale, right elbow across to left elbow. Inhale to open. Option to reach the arm up to the side. That feels good. Exhale, we can thread the arm under and through, reaching. Inhaling, lifting up, and exhaling, reaching under. Let's take one more round here with our breath. And then coming back to center, we can roll out our wrist and we'll switch sides. Pressing into our right hand under our shoulder. Inhaling as we lift and open to the left side. Left fingertips to temple. Exhaling, bringing the elbow across. Inhale to open. Option to reach the arm up. Exhale to thread it under and through. Last time here. Warming up our shoulders. And we'll come back to center in our all fours. Opening our knees to the long edges of the mat, tops to the feet down. We sit the hips toward the heels, finding child's pose. Option to use our block, a pillow, a book. Whatever feels good here. Maybe resting our forehead on the block, maybe rocking it side to side. And if you are feeling any sort of sinus pressure today in your head, just being mindful, maybe thinking about keeping the head above the heart. So in child's pose, the block is a great option here. Child's pose is an option for a rest pose as well. You can always come back to this pose, thinking of it as like a home base throughout our practice. When you're ready, we'll inhale, shifting forward, maybe releasing our block if we have it. Coming into a modified plank. So knees walk in line with our hips, hands under shoulders. We shift forward, shoulders over wrists, elbows in. Exhaling, little yoga push-up, chest comes down. Inhale, press back up. And exhale, child's pose. Shifting forward, doing that again. Inhaling, core is engaged. Looking at me here, so our elbows draw in and back. So when we exhale, they come down by our sides, by our rib cage. Inhale, press back up to your plank. Exhale, child's pose. So that's your second option. Third option, inhale, shifting forward. Exhaling, we call this chaturanga. Tops of the feet on the mat. Inhale, we can press up to find our baby cobra. So feet down, maybe lifting the hands off the mat, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, child's pose, pressing your hands into the mat, hips to heels. Taking whichever option feels best for you and just flowing this with your breath. This is called our half series flow. So we're building heat in our core, the posterior and anterior side of the core. Taking maybe one more round here, remembering that chaturanga is always optional. We can take that little push-up, elbows in and back. Meeting back in our child's pose whenever you're ready. From here, you're welcome to explore downward facing dog. So if you're wanting to lift into down dog, finding a little more heat, maybe hips up to side, pressing the weight back, walking your dog. Knowing this is an inversion, so being mindful. If you do feel any sinus pressure in your head, you'll start to feel it now. From our down dog or child's pose, because they are always used interchangeably, we'll walk the feet to the hands. So stepping to the top of our mat, finding a forward fold. We can find our hands, make our hands onto the block, placing them on the block. They can come onto our shins, our thighs. The goal in our forward fold here is softening the body, so softening our knees, chest towards the thighs, forehead towards the knees, maybe shaking your head yes and no.
Our heads are very heavy, so this might feel nice to release any neck, jaw, face, shoulder tension. You can also find ragdoll in this pose, maybe rocking side to side. When you're ready, we'll release the hands. As we inhale, we lift up to lengthen the spine for half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. One more time, inhaling, half lift. Lengthening the spine, shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. This time, inhale, reverse swan dive. Arms lift to the sky if that feels good for extended mountain. And then exhale, chair pose. Weights in the heels. We can wiggle our toes. One more time, inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, sinking into your chair. Moving through our full sun salutations. Inhaling, we lift. Exhaling, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift to lengthen the spine. Exhaling, softening, forward fold. Stepping back to find your plank. Knees or toes here, shifting forward. Exhaling, options in our half series. So remembering little push-up all the way down, chaturanga. Inhaling up to cobra, maybe full cobra today, shoulders back. Exhale, child's pose or down dog. Stepping to the top of the mat as we inhale, exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, chair pose, option extending our arms. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, soften and fold. Stepping back to find your plank, knees, toes. Options in your half series. Exhaling, pressing back to find down dog or child's pose. Inhaling, stepping to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, chair. Moving through your sun salutations. Let's just do one more round at your own pace. Finding that heat in the body, that's what we're building here with our sun salutations. Once you finish your round of sun salutations, we'll meet back in down dog or child's pose. If you know me, I'm a movie fan, and last night was movie's biggest night. So this class is actually our Oscar playlist, so you might recognize if you know some of those movies nominated. Making our way to down dog or child's pose, either option here, maybe checking in with the body. We're getting ready to move into our strength building portion of class. So as we inhale, lifting the right leg high, we can shift to the child's pose version with the left knee down, right leg high. As we exhale, we pull the knee in to the right elbow. Inhale, send it back high. Exhale, pull the right knee to the left elbow. From here, we can either drop the knee or take the leg across, opening up into starfish pose. Option when the knee dropped is a side plank. So finding side plank or starfish, either option, pressing into the right hand, inhaling, releasing the left hand, coming back to our three-legged dog as we send the right leg high. Exhaling, stepping the right foot between the hands to find the low lunge. Knee drops to the floor, left knee to the floor. Exhale, we sink back to find a nice little hamstring stretch. Maybe pointing and flexing the right foot. If you didn't know, this song is from Avatar, so won some award last night. Bending the right knee, walking to the front, finding your lunge. Lifting the knee as we come up to find our high lunge. So balance, right? Softening the left knee, hips are square to the front and our left heel is lifted.
Option to grow our arms up to the sky, shoulders back and down. Checking to make sure our feet are on what we like to call train tracks, right? So they're right here versus cross. So this leg isn't behind the right leg, but facing the front about hip distance. From here, can we just open to the right side or left side, excuse me? This was the best performance of the night, in my personal opinion. From here, we rotate the hips to the long side of the mat, making our way into 5-pointed star. Arms up to the sky like power pose. From our star pose, inhaling, lifting, reaching fingers high. Exhaling, sunflower, releasing the arms and the hips. Inhale to lift. Exhale to sweep the arms to the floor. Let's take 2 more rounds of this because it feels good with this song too. One more big inhale, let's lift. Exhale, hands find the hips. As we soften the knees, it's a forward fold. Making our way to our blocks, maybe our mats, right here in our wide leg straddle. And we're just gonna find some knee bends, right and left. If you want to, you can come down into that Skandasana. So the heel of the right foot lifts and the left toes lift. You can alternate sides. Being mindful of how your knees feel in this pose. It is a deep, deep knee bend. Options to stay right here lifted. From here, we'll bend our right knee, shifting to that side, towards the front of our mat, rotating our hips to the front of our mat in our lunge. We press our way into our right foot, finding our balance for standing splits. Option to find the block. So hands on the block, ooh, little balance challenge, ankle stability. All right, team, we're gonna take a leap here. We're gonna let go of the ground of the block, finding our balance, bringing our left leg forward and through as we lift up to our one-legged Tadasana. Excellent balance challenge. You can always tap down on your block or the floor with your left foot. From here, we shoot the left leg back, making our way into warrior 3. Arms can reach behind us, or if you want to be like Top Gun, right? Arms long in that airplane pose, hips square to the front. Finding our breath here in this balance pose. Taking one more big inhale. As we exhale, hands float back towards the floor, the block. We take a long step back with the left foot. The right foot meets it. Down dog or child's pose. An option to stay here or move through your half series. Making your way back to your down dog or child's pose. We're moving into our flow on the other side. So as we inhale, left leg high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to right elbow, shifting forward and finding that nice core challenge. Inhale, send it high. Exhale, left knee to right elbow, bring it across. Option here to scissor the legs, open up into starfish or side plank. Knee can also come down. Pressing into the hands under shoulders, bracing the core. One more big inhale. Exhale, right hand down, send the left leg high, 3-legged dog. From here, we inhale, left knee pulls forward and through, finding our low lunge, foot between the hands, dropping the right knee to the mat, top of the foot, exhale, shift back. This was the movie that sold all the awards last night, rightly so too, because it was amazing. Everything, everywhere, all at once, if you haven't seen it. Pointing and flexing through the left foot, lengthening through the hamstring. When you're ready, inhale, bend the left knee.
From here, we lift and find our balance, moving up into our high lunge. So once again, hands at heart center, or if we want to grow our arms up to the sky. We can always find a greater base of support too to take the feet wider, but remembering that our heel is lifted here. So it's a nice little stretch in the toes as well. Taking one more big inhale. As we exhale, we open our heart, our chest to the right side of the mat. The hips are still square. It's just the upper body rotating, right? Finding our breath as we inhale, opening our body to find five-pointed star. Pressing into the pinky toes. One more big inhale, lengthen and reach. Exhale, sunflower, releasing through the hips. Inhaling, feeling lifted. Exhaling, sinking and feeling grounded. Taking 2 more rounds of breath here. Inhaling, we lift to the sky. Exhaling, releasing our hands, softening our knees as we fold, making our way back to our mat, maybe finding our block, and moving into those knee bends or skandasana, side to side. Left knee, right knee. It's a nice inner thigh adductor stretch. Option to stay right here. When you're ready, we'll bend our left knee, making our way over to that side towards the front of our mat. Slowly rotating hips back to the front. Maybe our block comes to the front of our mat if we want it for balance. As we shift into the left foot, pressing forward, finding our standing splits. Once again, hands can come to the block, bringing the ground up to meet us. Finding our breath here. When we're ready, we slowly let go and lift ourselves up off the ground, standing tall in our one-legged Tadasana, so balance challenge. Right knee comes forward, heart lifts, head lifts, tapping down at any time. From here, right leg, we shoot it back, finding our warrior three. Now, you might be wondering, Anna, what's the difference in standing split and warrior three? Warrior three, your head is above your heart here. For my friends on Zoom from the side, head is above the heart, whereas standing splits, we might be here or here, head is below the heart. Squeezing through the back glute, taking one more big inhale. As we exhale, releasing our hands, our foot, a long step back to find that low lunge. And then left leg, shoot it back high, stepping back to meet down dog. Bending knees right and left, option to move through your half series. Or stay, maybe finding child's pose, maybe finding your breath. Last down dog of the day here, if we're wanting it. When we're ready, we're going to take our eye gaze to the top of our mat, stepping our right foot forward, lowering the left knee down, finding that low lunge position. And this time, walking the right foot out to the side of the mat, the right hand comes in as we meet in lizard pose. I like to find the block here. And maybe just taking our eye gaze towards the mat, sinking into this, maybe letting our foot and knee roll to the side, opening. Relaxing our jaws. From here, making our way back to our hands if we're not there, all we're going to do is shift back a little bit onto the left leg, and the right knee is going to come back to meet it, sinking back into child's pose. As we inhale and shift forward, taking our left foot this time towards our left hand. In our low lunge, we walk it out to the edge of the mat. Left hand comes inside the left leg for that lizard pose on the other side. Option to always come down onto the forearms if that feels good. Finding our breath in this pose here. Maybe noticing how it feels different on one side versus the other. When you're ready, we'll make our way back up to our hands. From here, shifting our weight back into our right leg as we step the left foot to meet it. Making our way into our last child's pose of our practice. Taking a few deep breaths here. And when you're ready, slowly walking your hands up towards your body, lifting your head, your chest. We'll shift ourselves around, coming to a seated position. From here, taking our feet in close, so we'll bend our knees. Looks like this from the side, yeah. Awesome. And then from here, taking our hands, placing them under, right hand under shoulder, left hand under shoulder. As we inhale, we lift our chest, rolling our shoulders back. We can stay right here if this feels good, or if we're wanting to explore a little deeper extension in the spine, pressing into our feet and lifting up our hips into that tabletop position. The most important thing in this reverse tabletop or reverse bridge is being mindful not to let the head drop back, keeping the chin close to the body, but not super close. Eye gaze can lift. Taking one more big inhale, and then exhaling, we'll slowly come down. Excellent. We can roll ourselves up, maybe rolling out our wrists from there. Extending our left leg as we pull our right knee into the chest. Using this as a break to slowly roll ourselves down onto our backs. We are going to end our practice today with one last final stretch on each side. And I'm going to show you some different options so you can take which one you want. It's our supine spinal twist. So our right knee comes into the chest. You can take the right leg across the body with the right arm out to the side. You can also use your block, letting your knee fall down onto the block. Another option, instead of one leg in, you're welcome to pull both knees into the chest. Arms come out into that T position, and we can slowly lower our knees to the block or to the floor. And then the last option, if you'd like today, is crossing your left leg over your right, knees into the chest as we slowly let them fall to the side. That's wrong, right over left, and they fall to the left. Just finding our breath here, maybe slowing it down. Shoulder blades are still on our mat. And eye gaze can be in either position. When you're ready, we'll slowly inhale, bringing our body back to center and switching sides. So again, both knees cross or one knee. Slowly, we'll let the body fall to our right side. When you're ready, we'll slowly bring our knees back to center. Maybe grabbing onto our hamstring under our knee, rocking side to side, massaging that low back, and resetting our hips. From here, we'll take our feet to the mat, walking them out to the long edges, and just slowly dropping the knees to the right and the left, finding this last little release in the hips and the low back. Feeling free to hold on each side for as long as you'd like. Taking any last and final poses at this time that maybe your body's wanting to explore. Maybe that's happy baby or one-legged happy baby. Whenever you're ready, you're welcome to make your way back into Shavasana for final relaxation or any other rest pose that might feel good for you. Whether that's knees bent, feet in, knees open, feet together. You can lay on your side, on your belly. You can come into a seated position even. We'll end our practice with this last little bit of meditation. Bringing our focus back to our breaths. Either closing our eyes or shifting our focus or gaze down or on something on the ceiling. Remembering that three-part breath. You're welcome to place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. If you'd like to focus on the feeling of the breath. Maybe remembering the intention that you set for yourself at the beginning of our practice.
Trying to wiggle your fingers and toes, just bringing that awareness back into your body and your mind. Whenever you're ready, you're welcome to bring your knees into your chest. Maybe rolling over onto your favorite side, using your arm as a pillow. And then we'll make our way back to a seated position whenever we're ready. Sitting up nice and tall. We'll take one more collective breath together as we inhale, we reach our arms up to the sky. And as we exhale, we bring our hands to heart center. Pressing the fingers together into our sternum area, feeling that heart connection. As we end our practice, we say something that simply means, I honor, see, and observe the light in each and every one of you. It is also within me. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining. Hope you have a great rest of your week. I will see you next time.